Pope Francis says all of us, as Church, now need healing. May the Lord help us to move forward in the healing process, towards an ever more healthy and renewed future. In Canada on pilgrimage. Dear brothers and sisters, Abba Wash did. Tansi. Oki. Good day. I am very pleased to be here, a pilgrim with you and among you. In these days, and today in particular, I have been struck by the sound of drums that accompanied me wherever I went. This beating of drums seems to echo the beating of so many hearts, hearts that, over the centuries, have beat near these very waters, hearts of the many pilgrims who walked together to reach this lake of God. Here we can truly feel the choral heartbeat of a pilgrim people, of generations who set out on a journey towards the Lord in order to experience His work of healing. How many hearts have come here with anxious longing, weighed down by life's burdens, and found by these waters consolation and strength to carry on. Here, immersed in creation, we can also sense another beating, the maternal heartbeat of the earth. Just as the hearts of babies in the womb beat in harmony with those of their mothers, so in order to grow as people, we need to harmonize our own rhythms of life with those of creation, which gives us life. Today, then, let us return to the sources of life, to God, to our parents and, on this feast day and in the house of Saint Anne, to our grandparents, all of whom I greet with great affection. Inspired by these vital heartbeats, we are here, silently contemplating the waters of this lake. I am struck by the vital role of women in Indigenous communities. They occupy a prominent place as blessed sources not only of physical but also of spiritual life. In thinking of your Kokum, I also remember my own grandmother. From her, I first received the message of faith and learned that the gospel is communicated through loving care and the wisdom of life. Faith rarely comes from reading a book alone in a corner. Instead, it spreads within families, transmitted in the language of mothers, in the sweetly lyrical accents of grandmothers. It warms my heart to see so many grandparents and great-grandparents here. Brothers and sisters, all of us need the healing that comes from Jesus, the physician of souls and bodies. Lord, as the people on the shores of the Sea of Galilee were not afraid to cry out to you with their needs, so we come to you, Lord, this evening, with whatever pain we bear within us. We bring to you our weariness and our struggles, the wounds of the violence suffered by our Indigenous brothers and sisters. In this blessed place, where harmony and peace reign, we present to you the disharmony of our experiences, the terrible effects of colonization, the indelible pain of so many families, grandparents and children. Lord, help us to be healed of our wounds. We know, Lord, that this requires effort, care and concrete actions on our part, but we also know that we cannot do this alone. Yes, Lord, we entrust ourselves to the intercession of your mother and your grandmother, because mothers and grandmothers help to heal the wounds of our hearts. At the dramatic time of the conquest, Our Lady of Guadalupe transmitted the true faith to the indigenous people, speaking their own language and clothed in their own garments, without violence or imposition. Yet, part of the painful legacy we are now confronting stems from the fact that indigenous grandmothers were prevented from passing on the faith in their own language and culture. That loss was certainly tragic, but your presence here is a testimony of resilience and a fresh start, of pilgrimage towards healing, of a heart open to God who heals the life of communities. All of us, as Church, now need healing, healing from the temptation of closing in on ourselves, of defending the institution rather than seeking the truth, of preferring worldly power to serving the gospel. Dear Indigenous brothers and sisters, I have come here as a pilgrim also to say to you how precious you are to me and to the Church. I want the Church to be intertwined among us, as tightly woven as the threads of the colored bands that many of you wear. May the Lord help us to move forward in the healing process, towards an ever more healthy and renewed future. I believe that this is also the wish of your grandmothers and your grandfathers and of our grandfathers and our grandmothers. May the grandparents of Jesus, Saints Joachim and Anne, bless us on our journey. Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.